Thank you, students, parents, colleagues, family, and friends who are here to honor the class of 2015. Welcome to our 180th Leland and Gray commencement. Would you please join me in welcoming the president of the class of 2015, Emily Tebow.
Good morning. Welcome to the Leland and Gray Union High School 2015 commencement. My name's Emily Tebow. I'm the 2015 class president, and I would like to introduce our class advisors, Karen Meyer, Susan Jones, and our superintendent of schools, Dr. Stephen John, our principal, Durin Dorfman, and our Director of Student Services, Melanie Sulinski.
One more.
Now I would like to invite our valedictorian and Vice President, Giannina Gaspiro Beckstrom, to join me for the student address. All right, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I would also like to introduce the school board chair, Joe Winenrick. Sorry, Joe. All right.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, the internet told us that a good way to start a speech is with a joke. So, we have a knock-knock joke for you. Emily Stockwell told it first to us. It's really good, but you guys have to start it, all right? Okay, go. Knock, knock. Who's there?
transition. You see, you guys had absolutely no idea what to say, and neither do we.
For some reason, you guys chose us to speak here, and we've been trying to figure out why. We think that it's probably because you think that we live at school and that we never go home, which to a certain extent is true.
Between student council, school board meetings, varsity sports, music and drama activities, and leadership roles after school, we do spend a lot of extra time here.
And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to spend his or her free time surrounded by the hospital green concrete walls of Leland and Gray?
Collectively, G and I have spent about 4,000 hours here in just this past school year. Yes, we did all the calculations. Multiply that by 6 years, and we have 24,000 hours clocked here at Leland and Gray.
They say it takes 10,000 hours for someone to become an expert at something, so, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at 2 self-certified Leland and Gray experts.
Maybe that's why they chose us.
So take it from the experts. Leland and Gray is certainly not a place for cliches. So hopefully you weren't hoping for a typical high school graduation speech.
But just in case, for some reason, you were really excited for that, we'll indulge you for 30 seconds.
It's been a great ride.
Be the change you wish to see in the world.
I'll never forget the first day I walked in through the Leland and Gray A-level doors.
This is not the end, but the beginning.
Education is not a destination, but a journey.
Don't be afraid of failure.
Believe in yourselves.
All right, that's enough. We'd rather tell you guys about how unique Leland and Gray is. Let us explain.
Okay, well, first of all, our building is an octagon. Honestly, how many other octagonal buildings have you been in? It looks like a gray stop sign on Google Maps.
And how many schools can say they have a teacher who doubles as a wild beast?
Shout out to Mr. Weber, aka the Wild Wee Bear.
On that same note, we have the legendary Tolosaurus Rex. Class of 2015. Doesn't it all make sense now? The reason he was so excessively enthusiastic about plate tectonics in 7th grade social studies was because he was there when it was still Pangea. Just kidding, Mr. Toll's not that old.
Other prehistoric beasts that roam our hallways include the Dr. Dinosaur, the Velocilandenberger, and Patty from The Office. We love you, Patty.
And we also have the kindest, smiliest, and baldest math teacher named Mr. Barton. But beware, on certain fall afternoons, he transforms into Coach Barton, who is not as kind, not as smiley, but just as bald.
Class of 2015. Do you remember 6 years ago when we were first sent off to the big kids' school? When we still wore as many clashing patterns as possible? With Crocs?
And when your level of cool was determined by the number of silly bracelets you had?
Parents and family members, if you're having a hard time relating to our 7th grade throwbacks, we have some facts that might give you perspective on how far we've come.
Most of us were born in 1997, the same year Google was born. We have never known a world without Google.
Also in 1997, Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear off.
And Titanic, Jurassic Park 2, and Good Will Hunting came out.
Gas was about $1.19 per gallon.
The popular Beanie Babies took America's children by storm.
And digital cameras and DVD players were first hitting the market.
Do you feel old yet?
Anyway, back to our own reminiscing. We went on lots of fun field trips in middle school, and no matter where we went, it seemed like someone always got lost.
There was a group of us who got lost on our hike up Mount Monadnock. Somehow a few of us ended up scaling a rock on this ridiculously hard trail. It's a long story, but...
And we also went to Lost River Gorge in Woodstock, Vermont, and Just by nature of the name, we all got last that day.
Now, we can't talk about high school without ranting. I mean, talking about Spirit Week.
The class of 2015 did exceptionally well in Spirit Week. The whole float presentation aspect of it was reintroduced our sophomore year, and I'm sorry, but we killed it. To represent the 80s, we acted out a Pac-Man game and had Austin dress up and dance as MJ. Obviously, we got first place, and thus our legacy was born.
Expectations were high the next year. We were officially upperclassmen, and the world was waiting to see how we would represent Ireland. Well, we had a rolling castle, Andy as St. Patrick. We had historically accurate demonstrations about bears and snakes and colors and all this great stuff. And to top it off, we had Jesse sing a U2 song in full Bono getup. After we performed, we were like, we got this in the bag.
Then, bam! Disaster strikes. The class of 2019, aka the 7th graders, they come out and they dance around a lot and they bribe the judges with Russian candy, thereby tricking them into giving them first place. We were appalled. We had been robbed of our first place title by 7th graders.
After a full year of brooding about this, we were ready to bring out the big guns. This year, Spirit Week theme was cities around the U.S., and we had New York City. We were like, so class of 2019, you want to use bribery? Fine, we'll play that game.
So, we brought the judges actual hot dogs in a homemade hot dog cart. We threw candy at the audience and handed out cookies. We had confetti and Angelina Jolie and Chinese tourists and ice skaters and bodybuilders and everything else you could ever find in New York City. And to top it all off, we had Jesse, dressed up as Frank Sinatra, serenade the judges with New York, New York.
And of course, we won!
We were like, teach you not to mess with us, class of 2019. But now that we're graduating, we actually wish you guys and all the other classes luck.
So, when we got to this part in our speech, when we were just writing it, our advice from Owen McDonald was, just wing it! But don't worry, we still have a script. However, his idea actually is applicable to some of our high school experiences. We really had no idea what we were doing. But it was great! At least we didn't get lost. Our hallways are actually a circle, so it would be pretty sad if we got lost.
Once, MT and I winged it in the name of the greatest Mexican grill chain the world will ever know, Chipotle. MT had found out that I had never eaten at Chipotle, so one day we got up and drove over an hour to get there, naturally. There may or may not have been a major snowstorm coming. There was a major snowstorm coming, but it's okay, because we survived and we got Chipotle. That was the day I lost my Chipotle virginity. Best day of my life.
Along the way, we stopped at Barnes & Noble and found, among other books, one called If You Give a Mouse an iPhone. Times have changed, parents.
We also found Twitter for Dummies and actually considered buying it for Miss L. She thought it was called Tweeter. So we don't really know what else to say about high school.
We could talk about the time you fell asleep in AP US History.
What time? No, it's
or not.
Or we could talk about the countless times your impossibly loud laugh in 4th block economics penetrated our 4th block calculus right next door. Seriously, this girl has the loudest laugh since Sally Densmore.
Now, as our speech comes to a close, we're going to get a little bit more cliche. You've been warned. Since we're graduating and all, we suppose we kind of have to leave you all with some food for thought. So here's a quote. The unfortunate yet truly exciting thing about your life is that there is no core curriculum. The entire place is an elective.
John Stewart said that, but we'd like to elaborate. Life is much, much, much more than school. Sometimes that was hard for us to see, but now that adulthood and bills and taxes are upon us, we're starting to get it. So don't let the idea of a core curriculum tie you down.
Instead, I dare you to dream as big and work as hard as our future astronaut, Giannina Gaspira-Beckstrom.
And I dare you to laugh as loudly and as often as Emily Tebow.
Thank you for your time, and congratulations to the Leland and Gray class of 2015. We are extremely proud of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Giannina and Emily. Would Madison Canella and Rachel Turner please join us on stage to introduce our faculty speaker?
Amanda DeBishop is a high school English teacher by trade, a translator by pipe dream, and a poet by some inevitable mystery. She graduated from Marlborough College in Marlborough, Vermont in 2010 with a degree in languages, literature, and writing, with concentrations in the ancient Greek language and contemporary American poetry. Her graduate thesis was a piece titled When I Think of Love, I Think of You, which consisted of a translation of Plato's Symposium, a critical analysis of Galloway Kinnell's Book of Nightmares, and a collection of original poetry. She went on to receive a master's in the arts of teaching social justice from Marlborough Graduate School in Brattleboro, Vermont in 2012.
In her meager free time, Amanda is the facilitator of the Gay Straight Alliance, a goat farmer, a teacher and administrator for the Center of Creative Youth, a 4-week summer arts residency program for high school students at the Wesleyan University.
She also does a lot of crossword puzzles.
This is what she is on paper, but to us and to many others, she is so much more. She is like a mother or even a sister. She's a friend. She's a semi-therapist. Well, actually, pretty much a full therapist, just without the degree and a little more spunk. And she's a feminist, she's a cat lady, she's a peer, a mentor, and a role model.
She's the green light shining across the lake through the fog of the public education system.
Hashtag Great Gatsby, hashtag Thanks English 11, hashtag Class of 2015. For all of these reasons and so many more, we would love to introduce our faculty speaker, Amanda DeBishop.
Hey guys, what's up? Just hanging out? Are you excited to graduate? Yeah, good. Hi. These lovely students were very kindly gentle about asking me to speak because it's very difficult for me to speak in public. I will likely cry. Enjoy it. Sometimes, when my students are having a great deal of trouble writing, when form or content or circumstance renders them anxious and paralyzed, I ask them simply to write me a letter. It's amazing the way that solution frees a person to speak. Some of the best essays I've seen in 20th century American literature, thesis and all, have been liberated by such a small invitation to address me directly, so that the only difference is that they begin, "Dear Miss D," and all that follows is a clear articulation of those complications, questions, thoughts, and ideas that arise when one grapples authentically with a text. I hope that now you will humor me, you parents, faculty members, staff, administrators, well-wishers, and celebrators, with the same allowance here today, because I am paralyzed in the face of such a distinction as delivering the commencement address for a cohort of students whom I hold in the highest regard. A group that has a singular and irreplaceable position in my heart and in my memory. To speak for them, I must speak to them. So thank you sincerely for understanding that I'm gonna face this way a little bit. So, you rabble-rousers, you collaborators and artists and instigators and intellectuals, I turn to you. Dear class of 2015, I stand here because you've asked me to, and because the way you asked me was so gentle and sweet. And rather than speak about the honor of teaching you, I'd prefer to speak about the honor of being taught by you. You have taught me so many things. When you were freshmen in Miss Chapman's English class, I was a student myself in your midst. You truly are the class that taught me how to teach. You taught me the value of collaborative exchange. From the first, I knew it would do me no good to stand before you and claim to know everything, or even anything. You had too many questions, suggestions, and experiences of your own to allow that age-old model of education to move you. Instead, as I helped you uncover the themes and threads and a river runs through it, you taught me how to fly cast, as all the characters in the novel do. It makes no difference that my own skills were lacking in that patient practice. Still, you sought to give me a taste of the art and judged me gently when you saw that my talent was not so adept or skillful as your own. You taught me to listen before lecturing, to value your voices more than my own voice, which is small and limited in comparison to the chorus of your own vibrant and complicated lives. You have taught me empathy in the face of every adversity, and I hope to keep living that example each day that I am alive. It's easy to forget the simplest and most important things in the face of every difficult day. Do you remember reading David Foster Wallace's commencement address to the 2005 graduates of Kenyon College? Yeah? No? No, you guys were all asleep that day. Well, intelligent as you are and prone to critical examination, you had differing feelings about his tone and approach to that commencement speech, but each of you responded to his keynote anecdote of the fish and the water with genuine interest. For those of you who are not familiar with the anecdote, David Foster Wallace speaks of a couple of young fish swimming along in the ocean. Another fish swims by and asks them, "How's the water?" And the younger fish turn to each other and say, "What the hell is water?" Ultimately, his point is that all of us, young and old, get so used to the temperature and character of the water in which we swim that we cannot even call it by its name any longer. This is one thing going forward that I hope to remind you, as much as I hope to remind myself, to remember. That it is blessedly and dangerously easy to live entirely in a world and remain unaware of it out of exhaustion or laziness or distraction. Stay awake, painful as it is sometimes. Keep feeling and thinking and asking questions. Never take anything at face value and leave it there. Too often, adults feed you the suspicious line that when you enter the real world, the world after high school, that you will be initiated, that you will understand what it is to be an adult, that is, a real person. But what could be more real than the experience you've already had? What could be more immediate than the pains and joys and terrors and tribulations of the past 4 years and all the years before that, which you have lived through and come through hardier and stronger and more beautiful than you may have imagined? The real world does not begin when you leave this stage. You already know, more than most, what the world is like, how it might hinder or help you depending on its whims. The question now is, how will you move forward in the world, which you know well, which exists for you in sharp relief, as long as you remain open to it and aware of its peculiarities? You are young, yes, but brave, and aware, and eager to fight for what is beautiful. You are a little like our friend Gatsby, who was mentioned before he got a shout out, I think. That hopeless romantic, that magician who gathered all your hearts into his wild and tempestuous imaginary dreamscape. Remember when Nick tried to tell Gatsby he couldn't relive the past? Gatsby insisted, "Why, of course you can." There might have been an old sport at the end of that, too. I don't know. He is both right and wrong. You may or may not realize it, but as your teacher and your student, I have a small porthole that peers in on the color and depth of your experience. It's one reason that as an adult, I aspire to keep company with teenagers for the rest of my life, because you feel and act more sincerely than most adults allow themselves to. Some of us, as we've grown old, have simply forgotten what to call the water. Hold on to that intensity, that true and distinct way of feeling. This is how you may, as Gatsby insists, relive the past, but breathe a little, too. Let yourselves be shaped, as you've shaped others, like me, by the obstacles and exhilarations that present themselves to you. Grow, please, and change and evolve, but never forget the fresh, sweet voice that has been yours all along, and never doubt it. Consider the last passage of Fitzgerald's, how he calls all of us to own the fact that we beat on like boats against the current, borne ceaselessly back into the past. Class of 2015, fight to move forward against that tide of apathy and cling to empathy like your raft in the storm. For what is living but loving the people around us, whether we like them or not? The important thing is the gesture of trying to understand them, not regardless of, but in light of our own struggles in this manifold life, which casts our own troubles so clearly, and those of others in a light a bit more dim. As you move forward, you will have to fight, paddling upstream to do what you know is right. And you will paddle for other people and in spite of other people, and ultimately, I hope, for yourselves and the things that you know to be important above all else. I trust that all of you in this class, more than any other, won't let yourselves be borne back into that old current, that you will forge new channels through the water and forward-moving currents that fit your needs and desires. I have incredible faith in you. And I know that I will look to you. This is the part where I'm going to start to cry. I know that I will look to you now and always for the strength and inspiration it will take me to do the same. Thank you for all that you've taught me, and thank me in turn, please, by going on to teach those around you what it is to love, to collaborate, to empathize and understand. You know more than anyone how to do the right thing. Class of 2015, thank you for changing my life. Remember, as you commence, now and always, that this is the water. Then remind everyone you know for the rest of your life.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. At this time, we will begin presenting awards, beginning with recognizing the valedictorian and the salutatorian of the class of 2015. This year, the valedictorian is Giannina Gasparo-Beckstrom, and the salutatorian is Ryan Borgeson. Presenting the first award in scholarship is Bruce Whitman, presenting the Jack Lambert Science Award.
A beautiful day for graduation, huh? So, the Jack Lambert Science Award is endowed by the generosity of the Lambert family, and it's awarded to a senior who has shown a strong interest in science and is pursuing further education in science. It's chosen by the science department. We had a real difficult time this year because there are a lot of young budding scientists in this class. So we split the award. There's actually two winners this year. And the first Jack Lambert Scholarship goes to Billy Culver. And the second award, the second Jack Lambert Scholarship goes to Corso Donati.
Melanie Zielinski will present the Cheshire Health Foundation Scholarship.
Good morning, everyone. The Cheshire Health Foundation Scholarship is awarded to a graduating senior who will be entering a 4-year nursing program, and we are pleased that this year's recipient is Erica Cutts. Did you all hear that? This is the first year that we're presenting the Bonnie's Dream Scholarship in honor of the late Bonnie Ellison. Her son, Miles Ellison, the class of Leland and Gray, class of 2006, established this scholarship in honor of his mother. And we are proud to announce that this year's recipient is Sam Dutton. The Lisa's Love Scholarship Award is given each year in memory of Lisa Young Noble. Lisa passed away in 2000 after fighting a courageous battle with a brain tumor. She grew up in the West River Valley and was a 1985 graduate of Leland and Gray Union High School. She was a person that will be remembered for her sense of humor, her dedication to family and friends, and her kindness and respect of others. Her family gives this award each year in remembrance of the loving daughter, sister, and aunt she was. Congratulations to all the applicants and graduates of the class of 2015. This year's scholarship award recipient is Leah Goki.
Presenting the Lexi Scholarship is Cherish Clark.
Congratulations, 2015. The Alexis June GLL Scholarship is handed out to a senior that has chosen to go into the medical field, law enforcement / game warden. My daughter Alexis lost her courageous battle with cancer on November 12th of 2013. I'd like to give the class a special message. Each of you are special in your own way. Also, you are each country strong. Always believe in yourself and stand up for what you believe in. And remember to always use your voice. You are our future, so shoot for the stars and don't ever fear to make mistakes, as that's how we learn. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off. Keep moving. We never know what the future holds, so make the best of it. This year's recipient has been chosen for Alexis Scholarship is because of her well-written essay and of what a precious person Lexi was to her. I know our country strong angel would be very proud of you. I hope you will take this through life with you and remember you can be whatever you set your mind to, no matter how many obstacles you have to face. So this year's recipient is Leah M. Goki.
Jillian Winter will present the American Association of University Women Award.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2015, another tribute to the excellent education they've received here at Leland and Gray. Just a little bit about what the American Association of Women is all about, abbreviated to AAUW. It is a group of women and men who try to advance equity for women and girls through advocacy, education, philanthropy, and research. It is now, I don't know how many years, I personally have presented the awards here, but many, many years we have been able to provide a little extra to the graduates from Leland and Gray, along with graduates from the other high schools in Windham County. And this is following a long tradition. AAUW was founded in 1881. And this was a time when only fortunate young women had the opportunity to go on to advanced education. And if they did, they were expected to become wives, good wives, and stay at home and provide a good family for their offspring. They were not particularly given an opportunity to work, and if they did, then they hoped to marry soon and settle down. But in that process, they lost touch with the things that had excited them through college. They needed to get together sometimes with other young women and for fellowship and for company, and also to stimulate themselves. So a group got together in Boston, and in 1881, they established the first group of American women that were graduates. Our local Brattleboro branch was founded in 1926, so 89 years ago, we set up a branch here, and there are 4 others in the state of Vermont. So one of our main activities is raising money for the scholarship. We do it through the book sale in Brattleboro, and now a day at the Welcome Center. And we managed to pull together through some donations enough to give 4 or 5 scholarships a year. So this year we are very happy that we have put together enough money to be able to present 2 scholarships. And these are 2 scholarships just to Leland and Gray. And these 2 are Emily Stockwell and Haley Buffum.
Presenting the Glenn E. Brown Memorial Scholarship is Darcy Brown.
Thank you. This scholarship was created in honor of my late husband, Glenn Brown, who was a graduate of Leland and Gray back when cars didn't have seatbelts or airbags. So it is with great honor and great pleasure that I present these 2 scholarships to Leah Goki and Shauna Smith.
Laura Greenwald will present the Leland and Gray Educational Foundation Scholarship.
Congratulations and good morning. My father, Roland Gould, was passionate about education, and he founded the Leland and Gray Education Foundation to help others achieve their dreams. I'm so grateful to those of you who serve on the committee and who have received the applications and chosen the winners this morning. There are 2 recipients of the Leland and Gray Educational Foundation scholarships. They are Haley Buffum and Emily Tebow. My brother David Gould and I have joined together to provide a scholarship to a student, and that's in my father's memory, and that student is Alexa Litchfield.
Thank you, Laura. Presenting the Mount Lebanon Lodge of Masons Award is Alan Chapin.
This award is by the Mount Lebanon Lodge of Masons in Jamaica, Vermont, to a senior who is pursuing a higher education. And they are Ryan Borgeson and Alexi Litchfield.
Marilyn Chapin will present the Mount Lebanon Chapter 89 Order of Eastern Star Scholarship.
Good morning, faculty, family, friends, and the fabulous class of 2015. I just want to tell a little bit about what's going on with Eastern Star. I joined in 2002, and with the monies that we raised from all of our raffles and bingo and everything to make these scholarships possible, we decided on scholarships for a senior in the West River Valley would be a good place to start. The first year we gave one $500 check. The applications grew year after year, and I found it harder and harder to choose. The total amount of scholarships have grown. To date, we have given 22 $500 scholarships. This year's award go to 3 of the students from Leland and Gray. They are Leah Goki, Emily Stockwell, and Ryan Borgeson.
Thank you, Marilyn. Presenting the Francis Capon Memorial Award is Chris Barton.
First of all, congratulations to a great class. It's with great pleasure that I present the Francis Capon Memorial Sportsmanship Award for 2015. Francis graduated from Leland and Gray with the class of 1946. An avid sports fan here at Leland and Gray, the family thought it would be nice to honor his memory again this year with a good sportsmanship award. It's with great pleasure to present this year's Francis Capon Award to Ryan Borgeson.
Tammy Clausen will be presenting 2 awards, the Francis Lucier Memorial Scholarship and the Leland and Gray Alumni Association Awards.
The Francis Lucier Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a senior with the highest grade average who has participated in and received varsity letters in at least 2 sports, has demonstrated team leadership, dedication, responsibility, and will vigorously pursue higher education. This year's recipient is Ryan Borgeson. The Leland and Gray Alumni Association Award is awarded by the coaches on the basis of conduct in games, attitude, loyalty to the team and school, participation in practices, and cooperation with the coaches and other team members. And on behalf of all the varsity coaches here at Leland and Gray, this year's recipients are Corey Nystrom and Emily Stockwell.
Presenting the Ted Fisher Memorial Award is Steve Fisher.
Morning, everybody. Congratulations, class of 2015. I got one thing to say before I hand out my father's award here. You sound like a very enthusiastic class with Spirit Week and everything, so I'm challenging you to do a float next year in the Alumni Parade. As president of the Alumni Association, we really need to revive that tradition. It's been kind of falling off, and we need classes like yourselves to do that. Anyways, my dad, Ted Fisher, graduated from Leland Gray Seminary in 1953. This award is on the basis of enthusiastic support of athletics, good sportsmanship, determination, and willingness to work. And this year's recipient is Emily Tebow.
Jane Olmsted will be presenting several awards, the Fred Robinson Memorial Scholarship, the Gateway Foundation Rotary Scholarship, and the Wyndham Central Education Association Scholarship.
The first award is the Fred Robinson Memorial Scholarship, awarded to a student who has been accepted to a technical college after successful completion of the first semester of a minimum of a 2-year degree, and the award goes to Chris Stone. The second award is the Gateway Rotary, Gateway Rotary Foundation, Gateway Foundation Rotary Scholarship, which goes to 2 students who are continuing their education. I know them as Emily Squared, but they're Emily Stockwell and Emily Tebow. The last award that I'm giving is the Wyndham Central Education Association, and it's awarded to a student who is planning to pursue a career in teaching, and it goes to Corey Nystrom for outdoor education.
Thank you. Bruce Whitman will present the Esther C. Lemoria Memorial Scholarship.
The Esther Memorial Scholarship, Memorial Scholarship, I'll get that out, guys, awarded to aid a promising student to attend an Institute of Higher Learning. This year it goes to Carl Judd Wright.
Barbara Marchant will be presenting the Arthur S. Hazel Parent Darden Scholarship and the Carol E. Reese Art That Inspires Award.
Good morning. Congratulations. Could you say hi? Hi. Not loud enough. Louder. Even louder. I've been asking them to be quiet for 6 years. I don't really want to hear you today. Okay, so the Arthur S. and Hazel Parent Darden Scholarship is awarded to a senior who, through adversity, has shown themselves capable and deserving of a scholarship, and I'd like to give that to Shelby Welchel. The next is the Carol E. Reese Art That Inspires Award. This is awarded to a talented senior art student who has produced art that would inspire the average person. And I'd like to give that to Corey Nystrom.
Chris Spartan will be presenting the Grace Cottage Memorial Award.
The Grace Cottage Memorial Award is awarded to a student pursuing a career in the medical field. This year's award goes to Erica Cutts.
Tammy Clausen will present the Jean Paul Williams Endowment Fund.
This award is given to a promising senior selected by the faculty at Leland and Gray. The award may continue for each of the 4 years as long as the student's GPA allows him or her to progress and graduate. I have no doubt that that will happen in Miss Emily Tebow.
Miss Ann Landenberger will be presenting 4 awards: the Mary Elizabeth Adams Scholarship, Friends of the Players Scholarship, J.B. Stearns Memorial Scholarship, and Eleanor and Arlo Monroe Arts Award.
Whew. Good morning and congratulations, you guys. You are a one-of-a-kind class. Bless you. First, I want to say, as the director of the Leland and Gray Players, That's the other hat I wear besides English teacher. So a big thank you to all the families and friends, bakers, drivers, line queuers, photographers, seamstresses, builders, organizers, techies, fundraisers, backstage crew, and audience members who supported the players this year. It was a special year in that the players went for and won their first award, the New England Theater Conference Regional Moss Hart Award. Thank you. Moreover, each of today's recipients, and several recognized last night, first joined the players as little ones in 2006 in a production of The Wizard of Oz and/or the next year's Oliver, and they were the core of the first summer performing arts exploration launched by alumni in 2008. This is a one-of-a-kind class of players. The Stearns Award was established by grateful alumni to honor J.B. Stearns, who taught and directed at Leland and Gray in the 60s and 70s. Many in this audience today remember J.B. well. According to all reports, he produced great theater. He was a formidable presence, and his legend lives on. This year's recipient has been tirelessly working at the actor's craft with attention to detail and high expectations for himself and his peers. He's designed and choreographed. He's made us think and worry as Governor Danforth, but mostly he's split our sides as Adolfo, Bottom, Pantalone, and more. Because you come such a long way from that crocodile and you have a very bright road ahead, the J.B. Stearns Award goes to you, Jesse Canella. Okay, the next award was established to honor the late Mary Soshan Adams. Mary loved kids, and she generously shared her artistic gifts with them in many venues, including Jamaica School, where she instilled a love for theater, the all-encompassing art form. This year's recipient has grown through and with the players on stage as an ever-versatile actress, and behind the scenes as designer, choreographer, and coach, always modeling commitment and creative problem-solving, professionalism, and high standards. For the set she designed for the award-winning Midsummer Night's Dream, to the Commedia Savvy she shared for The Servant of Two Masters, and for many more accomplishments on stage and off, the Mary Adams Award goes to Madison Canella. The Friends of the Players raise funds to support students in their pursuit of the arts while at Leland and Gray and beyond. The Friends Scholarship is voted on by the players based on essay applications, and it's offered to a senior who's participated in at least 6 shows as cast and/or on crew. This year's recipient was chosen by the majority of her peers. She's an outstanding role model, kind and nurturing to all, even to a pretty demanding director. Whether the task is memorizing 500 lines for her recent role in the player's first venture into Commedia dell'arte, or detailing sets of backdrops for Wizard of Oz just a day before opening, whether it's crafting the duplicitous and deceitful Abigail Williams, the impish Puck, or the quintessential Dorothy, this consummate artist goes at it with extraordinary perseverance, intelligence, and wit. High school stages rarely see such exquisite performance, and so the Friends of the Players Scholarship is awarded to Alexa Litchfield. Okay. Well, yeah, that's right. Okay, there are too many papers up here. I've been asked to give the Eleanor and Arlo Monroe Arts Award as well, and I'm honored to do so. Woo! Okay, that's a lot of noise. Arlo Monroe was not only the well-loved headmaster of Leland and Gray and the seminary before that, but he was also a renowned artist whose work is cherished in collections well beyond Vermont. So this is awarded to a college-bound senior planning to study the arts, be it theater, music, dance, fine arts, or architecture. And this young man is studying to be an actor. Jesse Canella. Thank you very much.
Ron Kelly will be presenting 2 awards, the Charles Purrington Memorial Scholarship and the Friends of Music Scholarship.
All right, Amanda Purrington House sent this statement about the Charles Purrington Award. My father would be very proud to see how the music program at Leland and Gray, which he wholeheartedly supported, has grown and flourished over the years. A musician himself and accomplished on many instruments, I believe the advice he would give to the graduating seniors who have shared their musical talents with this school would be, keep playing, keep singing, perhaps even composing or directing. Keep making the time for music in your lives, because it will enrich every aspect of those lives and the communities in which you live. This year's Charles Purrington Award recipient is a fine, enthusiastic musician. He has taken part in and excelled in nearly every musical opportunity offered at our school. He has been in band, chorus, a cappella, samba band, and jazz band. It seems every week or so we hear about a new instrument that he is learning. He has kept playing and kept singing, and I'm sure that he will continue to play and sing. His music making has enriched our lives, and it is for this reason that we award the 2014 Charles Purrington Award to Sam Dutton. All right, I'm actually doing 3 awards. The next one, I'll get it here, is the Diana Lane Scholarship. It's awarded to a promising senior girl who will be attending a Vermont college. This year's recipient is Corinne Broussard. And the Friends of Music Scholarship, $500 raised by the Leland and Gray Friends of Music parent group this year. They have to do an essay and tell us what they're going to do with the money, and this year we're giving it to Giannina Gasparo Beckstrom.
Thank you, Ron. Chris Barton will be presenting the Jeffrey Mantle Award and the Roy and Margaret Brooks Scholarship Award.
This next award is one of my favorite because Jeff was a close family friend about 30 years ago. And the Jeffrey Mantell Award is awarded to a senior who is considered by members of the 10th and 11th grade to be the most thoughtful of underclassmen. This award goes to Giannina Gasparo Beckstrom. The Roy and Margaret Brooks Scholarship Award is awarded to a senior who has done outstanding work in math and science for 4 years with special preference to someone who is attending UVM. This year's award goes to Giannina Gasparo Beckstrom.
Susan Jones will present the John Newton Scholarship.
The John Newton Scholarship is awarded by the senior class in appreciation of John Newton to a senior who has demonstrated leadership and academic accomplishment while at Leland and Gray. And this is definitely true for this young lady, Emily Stockwell.
Ann Landenberger will present the Arlo P. Monroe Award.
I am really very honored to give this award because it is the Arlo Monroe Scholarship is awarded by vote of the faculty. We consider it our most prestigious award. It was established to honor Arlen Monroe's dedication to young people in the West River Valley during his years as headmaster at the Leland and Gray Seminary, and then when we turned into a Union High School. I wish I'd known him. He was apparently a remarkable man and a brilliant educator. So this is awarded for scholarship, loyalty, and achievement, and we, the faculty, are honored to give it this morning to Giannina Gasparo-Beckstrom.
Presenting the Honorable John Barrett Awards are Bruce Whitman and Susan Gunther Moore.
So the Honorable John Barrett Awards, they're awarded annually to students who have made significant contributions, not necessarily academic, to the school community. First, John Barrett today. This student is an exemplary student with a strong core. She's a galvanizing community member, a high-level thinker, a versatile performer, and an accomplished artist. Dedicated, thoughtful, and thorough, she eagerly pursues new disciplines and modes of thought, not only in the humanities, but in math as well. Enthusiastically learning and doing as much as she can, she goes beyond expectations and humbly shines. An alumna of Journey East, she has also represented Leland and Gray far and beyond these fields in a cultural immersion leadership program with students from India and Pakistan, and in a homestay in Spain last spring. This year, she and 3 peers served on a collaborative peer review team working with 2 other Vermont schools towards school improvement. Her work was outstanding as she posed deep inquiry questions and shared unique observations. A keen eye, she's given amply to our community as a yearbook photographer, as well as on the National Honor Society and through the theater as a scenic artist, photographer, and performer. Last spring, she sparkled as Puck in a Midsummer Night's Dream, which won the NETC Moss Hart Award, and this year she captured the quintessential Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Stretching further, she recently gave us a brilliant, rascally Truffaldino in The Servant of Two Masters. In all her work, she is a beloved leader, a highly valued artist, and an extraordinary performer who models responsibility, perseverance, and precise attention to detail. She juggles all she does with grace, poise, commitment, and an infectious sense of humor and a generous spirit. Thus, we are proud to honor Alexa Litchfield with an Honorable John Barrett Award.
This young man has dazzled since his days in middle school, full of mischief in the classroom and elegance on the slopes. He knows how to get our attention while not always knowing how to manage his own. Over time, the size of his heart and the strength of his character have taken center stage. Behind the scenes, he is a courageous friend with a heart that aches for many. Loyal to his friends, willing to go an extra mile, but not to be the fool, he is the rare person who can be a teacher both of compassion and of self-care. With inexhaustible patience now for those who find the classroom a challenging environment, and solid confidence in his own expertise, hard-won and thus unshakable, he is the legendary big brother to his homeboys, who trust him implicitly. It is an honor to have seen this boy, now a man, grow with such grace. You honor us all in this beautiful unfolding. It is an unmitigated pleasure to present this Honorable John Barrett Award to Andrew David Weitzel.
There's no one who exemplifies leadership, dedication, care, and patience as this individual. This person is a true Renaissance person. There's hardly a stone unturned that she hasn't flipped over. She is president of her class, an NHS member, an athlete, and captain in athletics. She is involved with the players, serves as a patient tutor to a Leland and Gray 7th grader, travels all around the world through her participation in the experiment, acts as a friend to many close and far, even all the way to Pakistan and beyond. She is not only an outstanding student and a member of our Leland and Gray community, but a phenomenal person. This individual is a three-sport athlete in soccer, basketball, and softball who can commonly be seen playing in the dirt, sliding across the court, or stumbling over a base with grace. Laughter and always a smile on her face. She redefines elegance and is known in the Marble Valley League by her opponents due to her competitive nature and undeniable strength. Many opponents learn what the term "you've been T-bowed" means as they're lying in the dirt or on the court. After their experience of being T-bowed, she always extends a hand to her opponents, helps them up, and tells them, "Good job, true sport, example, and leader." The halls of Leland and Gray will miss her contagious laugh, her bright smile, and all that she's brought to Leland and Gray, but we know she's ready for her next adventure. This Honorable John Barrett is awarded and presented to the one and only Emily Tebow. And when your name becomes a verb, you know you made it.
We just got Whitmaned. With a smile that lights up a room and a mind that's just as bright, she is accomplished, witty, and wise, a force of initiative and innovation, ardent perseverance, and careful determination. Of her work ethic, it's been said, "I've never seen anything like it." She is a great teammate and leader, always ready to work. She pushes herself to meet increasingly higher standards and encourages others, from the classroom to the stage and soccer field, to do the same. With an eye to the future, she fully utilizes opportunities to explore both the sciences and the humanities. Her self-motivation, honed sense of direction, and independent character led her, with two peers, to create a documentary of Journey East, Leland and Gray's Asian Studies Exchange. It's an outstanding film to be cherished for decades in our community and beyond. A good steward of her many talents, she's as comfortable with a soccer ball as she is with her horn. She shares her voice richly, effectively, and to the benefit of all in myriad venues, from discussions of literature to National Honor Society and class leadership, from a cappella and all states to the players' stage, where she recently nailed her first lead with wit and savvy. One of two students' representatives on our school board, she juggled even more time to keep us on our toes as she sounded her whistle to rally the samba band. She has great empathy for people around her. Her ebullience, optimism, and kindness have touched us all, and we are so proud to honor Giannina Gasparo-Beckstrom with the John Barrett.
We've watched this young man transition from being a shy, timid boy into a strong role model for our school community. Adjectives such as resilient, honest, empathetic, and compassionate come to mind when describing this young man. He has overcome adversity and reversals in fortune that could easily have left him immobilized and defeated. Instead, he has represented our school to visitors, offered support and encouragement to his fellow students, and is a counselor in SEEK, Leland and Gray's middle school summer program. During his interview, when asked why he wanted to be a counselor in SEEK, this young man responded, "I wanted to let the kids know that it's all right to be different in this school." For this and countless other reasons, including his passion for ultimate frisbee, where he's affectionately known as Prickers, because he's the only one who'll go into the pucker brush to get the frisbee when it goes in there, and his undying love of tomatoes, we are pleased to present an Honorable John Barrett Award to Mr. Dylan Deno.
He says his body is his temple, share his friends of long standing. But they happily tell the story of the cheeseburger dropped from the top floor of the transportation center which made contact with his expectant face, landing slightly off center. He smiles. They revel in his love for the all-you-can-eat option at China Buffet and watch the repartee between him and his incredulous Chinese teacher, whose family painstakingly prepares authentic Chinese cuisine, the quality of which might seem lost on this special brand of foodie. He smiles. He is game, as exhibited in a story told by a friend who said, "We told him he had to be ready in 20 minutes and that all he needed were his goggles, a bathing suit, and an empty bag. He dashed out the door wearing nothing but his goggles and his bathing suit, an empty bag in hand. And really, he was wearing only his goggles and his bathing suit." Smiling wryly now, this young man is game in other ways as well. People look to him for positive energy and find it in abundance. People describe him as a good soul, one who leads by example and often with humor. In all his years here, about him, nary a negative word has been spoken. It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. Perhaps this is true for some, but for this young man, the smile says it all, generously offered, without discrimination, and with genuine openness to whatever potential might lie before him. We are delighted to present this Honorable John Barrett Award to Corso Donati.
Thank you, Bruce and Susan. At this time, we will present the diplomas to the students in the class of 2015. Reading the names is Karen Meyer.
Summer Bills. Ryan Bryce Borgeson, with highest distinction. Corin Caitlin Broussard, with distinction. Haley Elizabeth Buffum, with distinction. Jesse James Canella, with distinction. Madison Rose Canella, with highest distinction. Christopher Carlson. Madeline Crowther. Natalie M. Cullen. William Thomas Culver with highest distinction. Erica Cutts with highest distinction. Dylan James Deno. Jasmine Eve Dominic. Corso Donati with distinction. Joshua Joseph Donna. Samuel Dutton. John Francie. Giannina Saul Gasparo Breckstrom with highest distinction. Leah Margaret Goki. Riley W. Ham. Maggie Joyce. Jin Shin Lee. I did that one. Austin Kenny. Jun Lee Wang. Alexa Andre Litchfield. With highest distinction. Thomas John Maynor. Grace Elizabeth Muse. Corey Joseph Nystrom. Michael Petroselli Jr. Emma Lucinda Recchi. Emily Riley. Evan Riley. Olivia Caitlin Riley with distinction. Cameron Rollins. Kayla May Royce. Sarah Dolores Shepard. Shauna M. Smith. Rachel Spence. Emily Louise Stockwell, with highest distinction. Christopher Paul Robert Stone. Emily May Tebow, with highest distinction. Jacob Michael Topping. Rachel Eve Turner, with distinction. Jacob Waite. Andrew David Weitzel. Shelby Antoinette Weichel. Casey Paige Williams. Abigail Marie Winrick. With distinction. Etienne Zhang. Han Wan Juan. T. Fan Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the class of 2015.
Must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's help will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you of tender years, and know the fears that children provide. So please help your children with your youth believe. They seek the truth before they can dive, and teach your parents well. Their children's health will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
this concludes our ceremony today. Congratulations. Thank you all for coming.